Hi guys. So today we will read a science article. First, we will read to understand what the author says. Then we'll read to study the image to better understand the information in the article. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can do this together. The inclined plane. Paragraph 1. Many years ago, people had a problem. How could they easily move heavy objects without lifting them? The answer to the problem was the inclined plane. Paragraph 2. The inclined plane is a flat surface that creates a ramp. This ramp makes a smooth climb from a low place to a higher place. Inclined planes let people move heavy objects more easily. They can push the objects instead of lifting them. Today we use inclined planes all the time. Wheelchair ramps are one example. Loading ramps for moving trucks are another. Boat ramps are another. Let's come down here and look at our closed reading habit. Closed reading habit. Underline two sentences that tell you what an inclined plane is. Then circle the inclined plane on the diagram. So let's come back here and reread this. This isn't that long of a passage. Many years ago, people had a problem. How could they easily move objects without lifting them? The answer to the problem was the inclined plane. An inclined plane is a surface that creates a ramp. So it says down here that we are to underline sentences that tell us what an inclined plane is. Right here it says an inclined plane is a flat surface that creates a ramp. So we're going to underline this. When you go to the next slide, use the draw on it feature to underline or highlight that sentence. This ramp makes a smooth climb from a low place to a higher place. That also tells us what a ramp is. It makes a smooth climb from a low place to a higher place. So we're going to underline this sentence too. So then it wants us to circle the inclined plane on the diagram. So here we see the person moving from a low place to a what? High place. This diagram says inclined plane, and it has an arrow pointing to the inclined plane. So we're going to circle the inclined plane. These things need to be circled and underlined on the slide to receive credit. Okay. Turn the page. Now we've made it to yet another graphic organizer. Ah, Ms. Clark can't turn the other page. Okay. So the question at the top says, how does the diagram of an inclined plane help you better understand the information in the article? So it says, read the article again. Fill in the chart to show how the text and the diagram work together. So let's go back to the passage. Now, I am not going to necessarily reread this a third time, But I want you to think about what it says up here and what it shows down here. So one thing is the inclined plane creates a ramp. A ramp makes a smooth climb from lower to higher. So we could see here, it makes a smooth, and you see them going from what? Lower to higher. So we could go ahead and put in our text side that, sorry, an inclined plane creates a ramp. A ramp makes a smooth climb. Sorry, guys, had a brain fart. From a lower place to a higher place. If you need some time, I would pause the video and write it out, and then go back to the previous slide. Go back to the next slide. Go to the next slide and write it on the Nearpod. So that means you would be writing it 2 times. It's always good to take notes. So what does the diagram shows? So let's look at the diagram again. We see a truck. We see the heavy object. We see the mover, which is the person. We see the inclined plane. Okay. So it shows an inclined plane, what an inclined plane looks like, doesn't it? So here we're going to put, it shows what an inclined plane looks. All right. Pause the video, write this out in your notes, and then go to the slide and fill this in. Okay, so I paused for a second for those of you who needed time to pause the video. I know sometimes we get ahead of ourselves, so I just wanted to pause for a second so you guys can see this one more time. So if you need to pause the video, go ahead and pause the video. Write your notes on a piece of paper and then put it on the Nearpod. Make sure it is neat because this is your grade. Okay, talk. Reread paragraph 3. What are inclined planes used for? What other reasons can you think of for using an inclined plane? Let's go to paragraph 3. So let's look here. It says paragraph. These numbers on the sides represents the number of the paragraph. This here is paragraph 3. Let's reread it. Today we use inclined planes all the time. Wheelchair ramps are one example. Loading ramps for moving trucks are another example. Boat ramps are another. So they talked about wheelchair ramps, movers use ramps, and boats use ramps. So what are inclined planes used for? They're used for an inclined plane is a flat surface that creates a ramp. This ramp makes smooth climb from a lower to a higher place, to a low place to a higher place. It also, inclined planes let people move heavy objects easily. So it helps you move from a low place to a high place and move heavy objects from a low place to a high place more easily. What's something else we could use an inclined plane for? So they've already talked about wheelchairs. They've already talked about moving things. What about, gosh, I can't think of one right now. So we talked about moving things. Pause the video and see if you could come up with another thing to use a ramp for. Okay. Now we're going to go to our short response. The short response says, look again at the diagram. How does it help you understand how an inclined plane works? Write your answer in the space on page 302. So let's turn to page 302. Okay. So if you have time, go back to the picture and have another look at it because it says look again at the diagram. Okay, what can you guys come up with? Pause the video and go to the slide that says inclined plane, well, the slide that looks like this, and see what you could come up with. On the side, there's a hint. It says, how does the diagram show what you read about in paragraph 2? That's a big hint. Maybe the answer is somewhere there. Pause the video. Go to the slide and try to do it on your own. Okay, so what did you guys come up with? I came up with this. It shows a person moving a heavy object the ramp is smooth. The person doesn't, that's a E, guys, doesn't have to lift the object the object the person doesn't have to move the object up the ramp the object up the ramp. The person doesn't have to lift the object up the ramp. with his own might, the inclined plane makes lifting or moving the heavy object easy. So you can write something like this. Sorry, Ms. Clark got all tongue-tied because I already wrote it and I'm trying to rewrite it for you guys. So it shows a person moving a heavy object. The ramp is smooth. The person doesn't have to lift the object up the ramp with his own might. The inclined plane makes moving the heavy object easy. Okay, so if you have something close to that or something around those words, you're on the right track.